Hello, my name is Joshua Lockett, and this is my pitch to you for the theatrical release of The Last Metroid. I've always been a fan of Metroid ever since the original release of the game on Nintendo. Ever since then, they've grown and expanded to creating better and better graphics and better gameplay. And overall, I was always a big fan of the video games, so creating this movie would be a big dream of mine. This is a short teaser I prepared for this presentation. It basically promotes Metroid, but doesn't give away too much information about the actual movie itself. After conducting my research, I realized my top expenditures would be focused on computer graphics, set design, costume design, studio rental, and casting. Reasons being, a majority of the movie is really based on an outer space environment. It's really supposed to be a great outer space experience. So majority of the production would have to take place indoors, and we would be using a green room to create realistic graphic designs to actually match the environment portrayed inside of the video game. Costume designing and casting will be very vital in this production due to the fact that we have to catch the audience's attention from every aspect of the film. Something as simple as wear and tear of Samus's suit all the way to the design of the weapons. Casting is very important because we want to give Samus an actual face. We want people to look at an actress and always think, okay, that's Samus. Like, that is the face of Metroid. The estimated time it would take for us to create the whole production is very lengthy. Our development phase would probably take around 3 to 6 months, pre-production around 8 to 9, production from 12 to 20 months, post-production from 12 to 20 months, and distribution from 3 to 6. The development phase is very important because we have to get everything organized. We have to have every set location, timing, and everything perfect before we can even begin to think about filming or anything else. Our production phase would take a very long time due to the fact we're shooting everything indoors, and we have to create the set indoors with green objects so we can turn it later on into computer graphics to give it much more of a video game feel but not make it completely a video game. The story that I have for Samus is beyond creative. I want to introduce Samus to an audience that never actually knew about Samus before. A lot of people know Samus from Super Smash Brothers, the video game on Nintendo, but nobody really knows how Samus became Samus. So I want to give the audience like every detail and explain to them exactly how Samus became Samus and give her a background story. I want to give Samus a familiar face. I want the audience to look at an actress and say, okay, this is Samus. Samus is somebody. It's no longer just a created character and you don't know who's behind the helmet anymore. And I want to expand this movie beyond Nintendo. I want to take it further than just being a video game. I want to create actual storylines that tie into the next movie or hopefully create more movies after this one. I want to create the hope factor. I want people to believe that Samus provides her community or her team hope. I want to provide that factor within the movie. And also, not only with that, I want to promote the video game as well. I want to take elements from the video game and include it within the production of the movie. This movie will require training. This movie is an action-based movie. It requires martial arts training. The fight scene needs choreography. We have to do weapons training, of course. And depending on the actress that we choose, we would need to do strength and conditioning as well. The movie producer I chose for this movie would have to be J.J. Abrams. One of the reasons I love J.J. Abrams' work is because majority of his movies is based on outer space. That is exactly the thing that we need for this movie of Metroid. His notable productions like Star Trek Beyond, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Star Trek Into Darkness, those all were incredible sci-fi movies, and this is exactly what we need when it comes to Samus. Samus's whole career has been based on outer space. No part of Metroid ever took place inside of an earthly setting, inside of the woods or anything. Everything was set for outer space. And J.J. Abrams portrayed outer space so perfectly within his Star Trek movies. And I would love to have J.J. Abrams as the movie producer for this last Metroid movie. The movie director I chose is Len Wiseman. The reason I chose Len Wiseman for this project is because his action movies are incredible. The Underworld was phenomenal from the first movie all the way to the last movie. He can truly portray action within this sci-fi movie, and that is exactly what we need for this movie. Total Recall was a futuristic based movie that he provided action in every detail. It was action nonstop from beginning to the end of the movie, and I feel like that is exactly what we need for the last Metroid. Staffing requirements for my department during the production of this film would be an assistant camera operator, a boom operator, a sound technician, a crane operator, a lighting technician, and a video assist monitor. Reasons I need these is because I want to capture at least 4 angles of each shoot that we produce. It's always better to get multiple angles because one angle may look better than the original angle that we chose. So having every angle of the shoot would be very important. A lighting technician, I'm not too proficient with lighting, so having a lighting technician in the area to give the actor or the actress perfect lighting to set a mood for the movie would be perfect to have for this. Audio-visual software to be used during this film, it would be Adobe Premiere Pro, Cinema 4D, Element 3D, Pro Tools HD, Adobe After Effects, and DaVinci Resolve. These elements will be used to create the outer space environment. Adobe Premiere Pro would be used to basically put together the film and put it in chronological order and get every shot in perfect. Cinema 4D will create that unearthly environment, that spaceship environment, that outer space feel. Element 3D will be used for a lot of the lasers and photons and all of the artificial elements that I can't provide using base weapons that we have here on Earth. Pro Tools will be used to edit the audio to make sure everything is sounding perfect. We want everything to sound professional. Adobe After Effects will be used for things such as teleporting or flying and stuff like that. And DaVinci Resolve would be the element used to color grade the film to give it more of a action or more of a unearthly feel. The music composer I chose for this film is Michael Giacchino. Reasons I chose Michael is because his work with Star Trek is phenomenal. Every sound, every song, everything that played within Star Trek was perfect for the movie, and we need those sounds, we need that music within the film of The Last Metroid. Set locations we will use for the production of The Last Metroid will be Paramount Studios, Sony Picture Studios, Fortress Mountain in Alberta, Canada, and Kootenai Falls, which is in Libby, Montana. I chose these locations again because the majority of the film is actually would have to be shot indoors because we are creating an outer space environment. So that's very hard to do when you're outside because people can recognize locations, and when you shoot within a studio, you can actually create. Paramount Studios has one of the greatest green rooms that I've ever seen before in my life. So being able to use that studio and create outer space or a spaceship, that would be very helpful when it comes to shooting this production. Majority of the animation used within this production would be computer generated. Reasons it would be computer generated is because we want to continue to give the audience the video game feel, but at the same time we want to create a bigger environment, a bigger atmosphere, and that's very hard to achieve when you just use traditional art. So we plan on using computer generated animation to further expand Planet SR339 if you're a big Metroid fan. So we every animation within this film will be computer generated. This actually concludes my presentation. Once again, my name is Joshua Lockett, and I want to begin production on The Last Metroid.